Before you go changing these O2 sensors, check this. So on these GMT 900, so what is that? 07 to 14, 15, somebody correct me if I'm wrong here. Trucks, GM trucks, hence GMT, there's an underhood fuse box right there. This truck, which is a 09 non-DOD Cadillac Escalade, continued to have O2 sensor problems. And it was continuing to throw bank 2, sensor 1, sensor 2, O2 sensor codes, heater circuit codes primarily. And I thought it was very strange because it would come up as pending, kind of go away, and then come back again. And I'm like, okay, I'll swap the sensors out. Swap both sensors out, cleared the codes. It comes back almost immediately. And I'm like, okay, it's likely Powerball odds that I would put 2 new sensors, even if they were China sensors, that were bad in this thing. And so I started, okay, let me look at the wiring. And so this thing had the typical or not so typical, I know this is something that not a lot of people know about, but these things will throw O2 sensor codes, crank sensor codes, camshaft sensor codes, and there's wire loom that goes, especially in the all-wheel drives. There's wire loom that goes along the drive shaft down below. It eats through there, and then it messes with the 5-volt feedback or 5-volt feedback circuit on that. And so I fixed that, and I'm chasing up voltage, and I'm like, okay, the O2 sensors are doing their thing. They're seeing the amount of voltage that they should see. It has the correct sensors in there. It has brand new sensors in there. Still throwing the codes. What the fuck is going on? And then I asked ChatGPT, are there any fuses on the chassis that could impact the O2 sensor or the O2 sensor function? And ChatGPT told me yes. As a matter of fact, on GMT 900 trucks, underneath the underhood fuse box, there are 2. You have a bank 1 O2 sensor fuse and a bank 2 O2 sensor fuse. Let me show you. So here's the fuse box itself, but here is this thing right here. And so if obviously they're really nicely listed out, but let's say if you don't have this here, I'll screen in on this so you can screenshot it if you have one of these. So screenshot that. And then if you look along here, look at what number 8 is. Look at what number 8 is. O2B sensor. And then if you go down to number 18, which if you have bank 1 O2 sensor issues, your truck is likely going to run a little shittier than this one was. It just had the code up there. But if you look, I keep hitting this thing. Where's it at? 18 and 8. So O2B sensor, 10 amp. I come over here, figure out where that is. It just so happens to be where that 10 amp is. I pulled it out of there, and lo and behold, it is blown. So again, under hood, driver's side, pull this off, check these sensors, cross-reference, and you could have another issue. Whatever issue you're having, there's a lot of fuses in here. As a matter of fact, I found out not too long ago that all of these sensors right here, 3, what is that, a 6? Whatever that is, 3, 6, 10, and 15. So these 3 right here, and plus this one that's missing, are to do with the trailer. And how I found that out is I was towing a car, and I got late at night, and I realized that there were no lights on my trailer. I can normally see. I have this, and it has lights right there, and those will flash when the turn signals are on, but also they'll just stay lit up when driving. And I was like, uh-oh. So I pulled in, it's really dark. I pull in, and I have someone hit the turn signals. No turn signals, no brakes, no nothing. Obviously very dangerous. The vehicle that was on the back of the trailer, it was not this Mustang, but another vehicle was on the back of that trailer, and it didn't have any lighting or anything on it either. And I definitely did not want to get the setup here rear-ended, and end up in a bad situation, not only for myself, but for someone else on there. So I say all this to say, GMT 900s, check your fuses, especially if you got a problem that you can't fix or can't chase up, or you don't know why it's causing that problem. Check those fuses. Later.